This is Jesse with Eagle Eye Cinema, come to you with this free do-it-yourself photo training. Now, we understand that a lot of realtors, a lot of property managers prefer to take their own photos instead of having them professionally done. We understand why. A lot of people have different reasons. It can be because it's cheaper. It can be because it's faster. It can be because you don't think the property itself is worth having a professional media created for it. We understand. Problem is, in return, you get photos that look like this, some that looks like this, some that looks like this, and whatever this is. We believe that even if you do the photos yourself, it should still be high quality and it should still entice the buyer or renter to want to stay there. Because at the end of the day, most people are buying based off feelings. Most people want to buy or rent and be in a place where they feel comfortable laying their head down at night. And these photos or images or videos that you create for them would be the first introduction to this property. And you want this first introduction to the property to be something that makes the buyer or renter want to learn more about it. So here's a few quick tips for you whenever you are out in the field taking the photos yourself. So tip number one, make sure you have a checklist. Most of the time when we're out on the field, we have a checklist that shows us different things that we want to make sure is clean. We want to make sure it's in order. Once again, somebody is looking to stay here. Having it clean, having it nice, having it organized will more so entice the buyer to, or renter, to look more into it. We have a checklist for you if you want to check it out below. Tip number two, use natural lighting. All those magazines, photo covers, all of those images that you see that look so high quality are using natural lighting. The best thing to do when you're going into a room is open the windows, open the blinds, let in as much natural light as possible. If it is dark and if you cannot really see that well, then turn the lights on. The next tip that's very simple, but a lot of people forget to do it, is cleaning your lens. Make sure that before you take any photo, that you just wipe your lens. The next tip we're gonna go over is having your line straight. A lot of people love to come and take their photos here pointing down or down pointing up. Not really sure why. When you take your photos, you want to have it as a personal point of view. You want to give the person looking at the photos the best chance to feel what it's like to go into that room. Most phones at this point should have grids. Go into your settings, turn on the grids, and it will help you line up the room so that when you take the photo, it could be straight and it could be as if you're walking in personally yourself. Keep your line straight. The next thing we're gonna go over is locking your focus and setting your exposure. When you go in, you do not want your photos to be out of focus. You want to be as crisp and clear as possible and set your exposure according to the room. Each room may have different exposures depending on whether the sun, depending on the lights, depending on many different factors. So before you take the photos, make sure you set your focus and set your exposure. Whenever you do need to zoom in on something, instead of zooming in on your phone, just take a step in. Take a step in with your phone and lean in closer. That way you can keep it as clear and crisp as possible, keep everything clear and its focus, and you can zoom in on whatever it is you're trying to zoom in on. Aside of that, you want to make sure that your phone is set horizontally. We don't want to set it vertically. So having it horizontally makes sure it allows you to see the whole room in one photo and one viewing. Having it vertically gives you only pieces of the room, especially if you are stepping in to have more focus. And the last thing we're going to discuss is holding your phone correctly. When you're holding your phone, you want to make sure that it is not leaning, it's not tilting. Once again, you want to take the photo as if you're walking into the room the first time. A lot of people have their phones tilting and have the building looking like it's leaning or the room looking like it's leaning. You want to have it squared, you want to have it lined up, and you want to have it at a point of view so when the person sees the photo, they can actually see it for themselves what it's like. Nobody wants to sleep in a bed that's tilting. So make sure that it's lined up. To better do this, you can get a tripod. We have a good one that we found on Amazon. We're not affiliated. I do not know these people. I just think it's a good one. You can use that to keep your phone straight, to keep it lined up. Now, at this point, typically, we'll talk about editing. But we understand that you don't have time to edit. You understand that you don't have time to sit down and try to learn how to edit. That is why we offer a service to take care of that part for you. We have a very inexpensive service that will take the photos that you just took, make them look as clean and crisp as possible, make them look as professional as possible, send it back to you. The process is very simple. You take the photos, you put in a Dropbox link that we provide for you, and that's it. We'll handle the editing for you. That way, when you get the photos back, you get the photos back that look as professional as possible from an iPhone, but not even 1/10 of the cost. That is it for this training. I hope that it brings you a lot of value. I hope that you produce images that are very engaging, that makes people want to look more into your photos and look more into your listings. I wish nothing but the best for you and a lot of success for you and your company. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us, let us know. Until then, talk to you soon.